Hi there. This is a video response to Gina Ahrens. A few days ago, she had a challenge on her channel, just the Gina Ahrens channel, where she did some background pages. She did 3, and she challenged us to share some of our background techniques, our favorite ones. Well, I don't have any favorite ones, but I have some things that I'm going to try. This is also a building the backgrounds for another swap that I'm in with the AFTCM. I'll put a link to both Gina's channel and to the Art for Creative Mind, AFTCM. I'll put both those links in the description box. So I thought that I would combine the two since I need to make some background pages. I am using Canson's watercolor, 140 pound, 300 gram watercolor paper. It's about this size, and well, actually it's 11 inches by 15 inches, and the pages came out very nice here, 5.5, 5.5, and 5.5, and 8.5 this way. Our swap pages need to be 8.5 by 5.5. So I'm going to do 3 backgrounds here. I'm going to try what I've been into recently, and what I've been having a lot of fun with was using my Liquitex glazing medium and or Mod Podge as a background to hold and stabilize the Dylusions inks. The Dylusions inks are not permanent. They are, you can move them with water, but I'm thinking that, and I still kind of need to test this, but when I did my acrylic skins, I got a beautiful, beautiful background when I sprayed directly into a layer of Mod Podge. Mod Podge. I'm learning how to pronounce that correctly for the benefit of those who care. So, and evidently there are some people out there who do care. So it's Mod, M-O-D, Podge. So I'm going to do that technique on one page. Then on the other page, I have some of this wide ribbon, and I think I'm going to put that down as a base. I like to collage, so I'm going to be collaging some things down here. One of the things that I do, I don't know if it's really my favorite, but I do a lot of collage. I have these text blocks. I might tear up some of those on there, and I also have some chipboard. So this one is going to be spraying my Dylusions inks into a liquid base as a background. This one is going to be collage, and then my last one is going to be, I found this, and I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to work with it yet, except I know I'm going to use it. I must have bought this sometime. I don't know where I got it, but I found it in my supply cabinet when I was looking for things. But I might use it with my modeling paste. I also got out my modeling paste. So maybe I'll use my modeling paste. This is by Luminarts. It's Shimmering Mist. And I picked up the copper. And what it says, in our AFTCM group, there was a post here recently if you could make washes out of twinkling H2Os. And I think they decided that it would be a little difficult, but this Radiant Rain says twinkling H2O. So I'm going to experiment with this on the 3rd background. The theme of the journal page that I'm going to be working on is I am beautiful. Well, or I'm so pretty, something like that. And I am going to I have a poster. Look at this. I was into needlework a couple of years ago. I did a lot of needlework, and I love vintage sewing items. And I saw this. I still have the price tag on it. Oh, there's no price on it. There's a tag with no price. But see, look, it has the little flip. It was a store display. It still has the little flip on the back of it. But this is a Royal Society embroidery package display card. And of course, it's all vintage. And it says, every woman loves beautiful things. And I think I'm going to associate that with I'm so pretty. Now, I'm not going to cut this up or alter it or touch it in any way. This is kind of one of the things I hang in my studio. But I'm going to use it as inspiration. I can't make a long story short. Okay, so let's get to it. Let's do the first page and I should probably get each page on its own separate sheet of waxed paper. And this may be a long video. I don't know if I can fast forward any of this. Turn on my light up here. There. Keep my waxed paper out. The first one I'm pretty familiar with because I'm just going to be Mod Podging and spraying directly. And I'm going to pour it in my little yogurt container. I guess these do have a use after all. I've got a nice little stack of, get 10 of them for so much. And I'm pouring it. I could do it directly on the paper, but this Mod Podge is fairly old, and it's got clumps in there. And if I can avoid, but I want a nice, thick layer. And I'm just using an old brush. Maybe I'll try that on this page too, if I can find it. I have some glass bead gel. I'm going to put that on here too, really quick. I'm building up a texture. See, this has got some gunk in here. Let's get that gunk off. Okay, I'm going to put some glass bead gel on here. And I'm thinking because this is sticky stuff, all of it's wet, when I do my spray into this, and I'm just going to swipe a couple of pieces across. Maybe I'll swipe some at the top here. Because it's wet, this is a wet medium, I think that when I spray into that, it will calm the, what do you want to say? It will stabilize the spray paint. I like that. I like it just like that. So this is one background, a fairly simple background. But you know what? I sprayed some... What will happen? What will happen? I don't want to go brown. What will happen if I do some red? This is Postbox Red. It'll probably turn it a lavender color. And I just maybe want a couple of drops. Oh, it turns it a brown. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, nice. Maybe I should stop right there. I tend to go overboard when I see something happening that I like. I still got it got red in the glass bead gel. Let's just take this out. I got a buildup of it in there. Can you see? I'm just gonna get as much as I can out. And where's my scrap? Come on, I had some scraps. I'm going to swish this across here. This is not part of the page. I just don't want to waste it. So I'm just going to swish this, what was in the cap of that glass bead gel on my page here. Clean my knife off. And let's get my Mod Podge out of the way. And let's spray some of that Postbox red on it. Yeah. I got it in my Mod Podge cap again. So I'll have red Mod Podge. Okay, so that's one background. I'm still going to use my Mod Podge. I'm going to collage. And I don't think I'll be using the sprays for this. Let's put these to the background. Linda Lapoca, I can't pronounce your last name. Lapoca said they look like little soldiers back there, all the little paint bottles. So I think of all my little soldiers lined up. Who says you don't play with toy soldiers? Now the second page is going to be collage, and I do like collage a lot. And I'm going to leave, this is obviously a Christmas ribbon. It's a mesh ribbon. And I'm going to leave the wire on it because I'll probably be trimming it off. I'm going to put some Mod Podge down first, my Mod Podge, and put my ribbon into that. And then I think I'll tear some text pages because I like to use these up. I do like, and this is just to demonstrate one of the things that I do a lot of collage. I like to get images from magazines and books and things that illustrate what I want the theme of my page to be. I could go get a sewing magazine and do some collage, but I might do that later if I use this. But I'm building the background now, so the first thing that I'm going to do is go back and I need a towel here. I'm going to go back and collage down, and I don't care if this has some red in it. Doesn't make any difference to me. I just want to get a layer of Mod Podge down. I like the matte medium, and I like the glazing medium when I work on pages, but I'm trying to use up all this Mod Podge that I have because it's going to get old on me. And so I'm just trying to use as much as possible. Now this is not going to, this probably needs a strong glue on it in order for it to stick. I have Weld Bond glue in here, and I'm going to just put some big thick layer of glue on here. Now this Weld Bond glue, I learned about this in AFTCM, one of our Canadian, this is made in Canada. I buy mine at Ace Hardware. I bought a big old gallon jug of it. I do like it a lot. It will dry transparent when it dries. So everything that you're seeing being glued down here, where it's white, will be transparent, and I'm hoping that my net ribbon will show through. It'll probably be very stiff too, so I want to get that as flat as possible on my page. Okay, now I also want to put some modeling paste on here, but I also, let's see, I also want to, I have some of this, I don't even know what to call it. It's another type of a ribbon, a wire, not a wire, it's a mesh ribbon. but it's not wire, it's strings. And in fact, what I should use is, I used this mesh ribbon when I did my March banners, and you can see I have some silvery paint in there. Maybe I'll just put that down, a couple pieces down, collage it down. I was going to put them on an index card and do an iCAD, but I think I'll use them here and just use them with my glue. Maybe I'll. So this is another thing I like to do on my backgrounds when I'm prepping a background. To tell you the truth, my backgrounds are done more according to what the theme of the page that I'm working on. Now the theme of our March journal page will be I'm So Pretty, but I'm going to do Every Woman Loves Beautiful Things. But I'm just illustrating what one of my things that I like to do on the background. Now, the only other thing that I have planned for this is to put some text pages down. Some text. Just Mod Podge down there. And if it has color on it, that doesn't bother me. In fact, I wasn't going to use my dilutions anymore, but man, this is just calling out chocolate to me. A brown, and it's wet enough. And what I did in my wallpaper art journal was I cut little flowers and made petals and everything out of here. I'm not going to do that here, but that is one thing I like to do with these extra book pages that seem to be haunting me now since my altered book project. Might as well use them up. I'm kind of liking this just like it is, except, let me wipe my hands off a little bit, chocolate. It's calling out chocolate. I want chocolate. Look at that. That's not working for me. I need to smooth that down a little. There, I must have bumped it. Chocolate, I want chocolate. And you know what? I think I'll give this a nice layer of Mod Podge before I spray into it. And I kind of noted from when we did when Susie Dennis challenged me with that acrylic skin, that's where I first picked up spraying the dilutions into the Mod Podge or into your, and I really like the effect. See, I've got a nice coat, a nice liquid coat here. And this will all dry transparent, except for I'm going to spray some chocolate. Oh, that's Post Office Red. Where's my chocolate? Chocolate here. There's purple. Here it is. Melted chocolate even. That red just needed to be there. Yes, it wanted chocolate. Oh, look, and it made the splatters too. I think I'm going to give it a little red. Don't want to ruin my splatters. Okay, stop, Mary. That's enough. I have to remind myself to stop. Well, here's my other chocolate. Okay, so there's my second page. So the first page was just Mod Podge spraying into it, glass bead gel. This is collage. Collage down my mesh ribbon and collage the mesh string over that, and it had some silvery paint in there, and then I sprayed it, gave it another coat of Mod Podge, and sprayed it with Postbox Red and melted chocolate. Now the third background, I'm going to set this aside to dry. And my third background, I'm going to, my last page, I want to use my modeling paste. Except I think I'm going to put a layer of Mod Podge down first. Because not only, I just want to use it, and it'll give me a nice base. Now, I'm going to use Liquitex's modeling paste. I do have some vinyl spackling, and I tried to use that in my wallpaper art journal, and it just scraped right off the page. And I don't know if this modeling paste will do the same thing. But I have a layer of Mod Podge down there, so. And the reason that I'm doing this is that I'm going to spray my dilutions into this while it's still wet. And what shall I do? A nice, I'm not putting it through stencil or anything, I'm just giving it a textural layer. And I wouldn't say that this is something that's a favorite of mine to do. This is something that I'm experimenting with to do. So these are not, oh, I do this all the time backgrounds. These are, I want to see how that dilutions spray, if it'll soak into these wet media, and if the wet media will prevent it from running. There, I guess I got a pretty good texture on there. I don't want it to be too bumpy, but I don't want it to be too smooth. If that makes any sense. Okay. And I always put a piece of plastic over these jars just to help keep in the moisture. Okay, now I'm also going to just dump the rest of this Mod Podge on here as kind of a top layer. And also because I want to use it. My poor paintbrush. Where's my, I think I'm going to cut into this a little bit more with that. I want a little bit more texture on this page. So I'm just causing some modeling paste swirls here. Yeah, now kind of smooth that out. I do not go for the greens that well. Greens and blue. I like blue, but if I like blue, I generally use brown. I go more toward the chocolate colors and golds. I have a lemon zest that's almost all used. I need to get some more. I don't even know if I can get any more out of this. It's in there. Probably have to probably have to just pour it on there. I don't do a lot of dripping either, but because I'm going to drip this, I clean this out and put some more inks. Oh, you know, I was going to use, this would be a good time to try this. This Shimmering Mist Copper. Shake well. Coppers. I love copper colors. And I have no idea what's going to happen here. Ooh, look at it though. Now this will probably dry. They say it'll dry shimmery. It doesn't look shimmery here, but we'll see what happens. This is a Radiant Rain. It's calling chocolate to me, but I think I'm going to spray some Postbox Red. Some chocolate. This is a very wet page. Good thing I used watercolor paper. Now, I wonder if that modeling paste isn't resisting my sprays. Seems to be puddling there. But I'm going to let it puddle. I think I am wanting to put some London Blue, right, in those white spots. I hear you, stop, but I can't. All right, so, and here are the pages. This is the first one I did. This one, the blue one, chocolate one, has Mod Podge, and then into the Mod Podge and glass bead gel down here at the bottom, I sprayed London Blue and chocolate, melted chocolate Dilutions inks. The goal of that is to see if the Mod Podge and the glass bead gel will stabilize the inks, and I'm hoping that it won't reactivate. The second one I did was collage, and I used weld bond glue and a wire mesh ribbon and a string mesh ribbon and text pages on this page. I like to do a lot of collage. And then my third background is modeling paste sprayed with Dilutions, and then I coated it with Mod Podge again and sprayed some more Dilutions. That's a very wet page. That's a very textural page too. So if I can get a long range view, here they all are. This is the challenge. Now I'm going to use these as background pages for my March journal page swap. I hope that you've enjoyed watching me create these background pages and listening to my thoughts while I was creating them. And if you've enjoyed my videos, please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you on the next page.